Hello da Tanga, welcome to Gully Classroom. This is a special edition of Gully Dozen. Sir, what is Gully Dozen? Gully Dozen is a lecture where I will be discussing 12 most important multiple choice questions that have already been asked in the previous board exams in a particular chapter. This will facilitate a quick revision through the important points in that particular chapter. Okay, sir. So what are we going to do? Gully Dozen about here. We are going to do Gully Dozen on the chapter CBSE 10th Standard History, Chapter 1, Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Yeah, can we start this Gully Dozen? Yeah, Kana, come on. Okay, the thing is, first question. Let us go for the first question. Before I go for the first question, let me inform you. The ideal way to attend this particular lecture, this particular Gully Dozen segment is, I have given the questions, the 12 questions in the description. So you can simply pause this video right now, try those 12 questions and then look at the answers and check how much you know this particular chapter. That is the ideal way to attend this Gully Dozen. Yeah, come on guys. First question, which of the following revolutions is called as the first expression of nationalism? The first expression of nationalism is obviously French Revolution. Yeah, that is where first aristocracy was replaced by some version of a democracy, some version of a republic, some version of a people's government. So for the first one, answer is A. French Revolution is the first expression of nationalism, a revolution which is called as the first expression of nationalism. Let us look at second question. When France sneezes, the rest of the Europe catches cold. Who among the below said this popular line? This was said by Duke Metternich. This was said by the Austrian politician Duke Metternich. Okay sir, okay sir. Why did Metternich say this statement? Because whenever France is doing something, the rest of the Europe follows suit. When France is putting some color clothes, it is usually considered as fashion. In fact, Paris in France is considered to be the high point of fashion and life. Whenever France is doing something, the rest of the Europe always follows suit. Okay, sir. So this was said by Duke Metternich. Obviously, Giuseppe Mazzini and Giuseppe Garibaldi are Italian revolutionaries. They won't be bothered about France. What about Otto von Bismarck, sir? He was a German politician and he was also not really bothered with this particular idea. Otto von Bismarck was really interested in uniting Germany together under the Prussian king. Uniting the Germany together under the Prussian king. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So for the second question, option is B, Metternich. What about the third question? Which among the following best signifies the idea of liberal nationalism in 19th century Europe? So what is 19th century Europe? 19th century means 1800 to 1899. This is called as 19th century. In this particular period, what is considered as nationalism? Let us go through each and every point. Emphasis on social justice. What is the meaning of emphasis on social justice? All the people in that particular country must be getting equal economic opportunities, equal social responsibilities and so on. This is called as social justice. So social justice can be considered as a starting point for socialism or communism. Anyway, that point does not really gel with liberal nationalism that was famous in 1800 to 1899. Anyway, let us go for second point. State planned socio-economic system. Did the state government, did the national government really do a planning for the entire country in this particular period? No, not really. What about the last point, supremacy of state-oriented nationalism? That also does not hold any relevance here. So the answer is for 3, it is C. Freedom of the individual and equality before law are the core ideas behind liberal nationalism of 19th century. So every individual must be given his own freedom. Also, everybody is equal before the law. The king's son will also be treated as equal before the law. A beggar's son will also be treated as the same and an equal before the law. Okay, sir. What about the fourth question? Choose the incorrect option from column A and column B. Listen carefully. They are asking for the incorrect option. So out of these 4, 3 are correct. 1 is wrong. Let us check which one is wrong. First one, Napoleon Bonaparte, Civil Code. Yes, Napoleon Bonaparte was the one who introduced Civil Code in the year 1804. In fact, let me do a very fast recollection about the 3 core points of the Napoleonic Civil Code of 1804. What are the 3 core points? Privileges based on birth were completely abolished. The king's son was also treated as the same. A beggar's son was also treated as the same. Equality before law was guaranteed. The law treated all the people same. Also, right to property was secured. If you are going to earn something, that particular property will always be in your name, and it will not simply change hands due to the fanciful thoughts of some king. Okay, sir. So the first one is right. Napoleon Bonaparte, Civil Code 1804. There are 3 core points. Privileges based on birth were abolished. Equality before law was guaranteed. And what is the last point, sir? Right to property was secured. Okay. What about the option B? Duke Metternich, Congress of Vienna. Duke Metternich conducted the Congress of Vienna in the year 1815 after defeating Napoleon. What are the nations that gathered to discuss at the Congress of Vienna? The nations are British, the nations are British. Okay, sir. Then Prussia, Britain, then Russia. Okay, sir. What else, sir? Then Austria. Sir, how are you able to remember this? I am using a particular code. I will help you out how I am remembering this. First, remember B. Okay, sir. Then what? Rub this lower part of what are you getting? P for Prussia, the B for Britain. If you rub the lower part of, you are getting P for Prussia. Add a line here, R for Russia. Add another curved line here, A for Austria. So this is how I am remembering this. The nations which are participating in Congress of Vienna, Treaty of Vienna. Anyway, Duke Metternich was the one who was hosting it, so the option is right. Okay, sir. What about option C? Louis XVI, German Revolution. Sir, didn't Louis XVI be the emperor of France when French Revolution was happening? Yes. So they have changed the word French to German. If they would have given Louis XVI French Revolution, then that particular point would have been correct. But they have given German Revolution. So for the 4th question, the option is C. Okay, look here. What about the last option, sir? Charles Welker, Frankfurt Parliament. Charles Welker was a very famous journalist as well as a politician who played a very active role in the revolution of liberals which took place in 1848 in Frankfurt in St. Paul's Church. So this might be a slightly tangential point which might not be found in the book, but this has been repeated as an 1 mark for quite some time in the board exam. So I am giving this point. Charles Welker, Frankfurt Parliament is absolutely right. Charles Welker, Frankfurt Parliament is absolutely right. Charles Welker is a German politician and journalist. Okay, sir. What about the 5th question? Which of the following treaty recognized Greece as an independent nation? Treaty of Constantinople is recognizing Greece as an independent nation. Option is D. Sir, give me 2 points which are very, very significant about the struggle for freedom in Greece. Struggle for freedom at Greece. Give me 2 significant points. Just 2 points which I need to remember with respect to struggle at Greece. Okay, Gana. The 2 things you need to remember is, you need to remember about the French painter Delacroix, who drew a very beautiful painting which depicted in horrific details about the massacre at the island of Chios. And he inspired people to fight for the Greeks against the Ottoman Turks. What else, sir? There was this English poet called as Lord Byron. Lord Byron collected funds and sent for Greece in order to help in the war efforts. Later, Lord Byron himself joined in the war efforts where he literally died. He got sick and died. So you need to remember these 2 points. What are the 2 points that you need to remember? Yeah, French painter, FP, French painter Delacroix massacre at island of Chios. What else? The next point is, you need to remember English poet Lord Byron. Yeah, these are the 2 points that you need to remember. Sir, in which year did the Treaty of Constantinople take place? Treaty of Constantinople take place in 1932. Took place in 1932. And yeah, the Greece was considered as a cradle of civilization. Poets lauded Greece as where civilization started. Yeah, you can remember all those points. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I am comfortable with this. Let us go for the next question. I am comfortable with Treaty of Constantinople, which established Greece as an independent nation after Greece, with the help of Christian empires like French and British, defeated. Whom are they defeating? They are defeating Ottoman Turks. Okay, let us go for the sixth question. Sixth question is, who among the following formed a secret society called as Young Italy? So we are talking about Young Italy. Obviously, Giuseppe Mazzini is the only Italian over there. Look there. Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck is a Prussian fellow. The Iron Chancellor who united Germany together. Yeah. Johann Gottfried Herder, once more, he is a German romantic philosopher who talked about the concepts of Volksgeist, the common folk, Das Volk. What is the meaning of Das Volk? Which was put forth, an idea put forth by Johann Gottfried Herder. It means the common people. Anyway, Duke Metternich. Duke Metternich was from Austria. The only Italian fellow is Giuseppe Mazzini. So obviously, Giuseppe Mazzini is going to form a secret society called as Young Italy. Okay, sir. What sixth answer is B. Giuseppe Mazzini. What about the seventh question? For seventh question, which one of the following states was ruled by the Italian princely house before unification? Before unification, Sardinia Piedmont, option D. Sardinia Piedmont was the only place which was actually ruled by an Italian prince. Italy was divided into so many parts before unification, but in those parts, Sardinia Piedmont was the only place which was actually ruled by an Italian. The others were ruled by Bourbon kings and so on. Okay, Kana. Okay, Kana. For 7, option is D. For 7, option is D. Okay, sir. Sir, you did tell me that Giuseppe Mazzini started Young Italy. Absolutely, Tango. Kindly tell me a couple of statements of what Mazzini was all about. Of what Mazzini was all about. Absolutely, Kana. You see, Mazzini believed that God intended nations to be the natural units of mankind, and also Italy must be united from a patchwork of small kingdoms, to a single united republic. This is the belief of Mazzini. In fact, Metternich, the Austrian politician, he was that much cautious of Mazzini. He was very, very afraid of Mazzini. What did Metternich say about Mazzini? He said that Mazzini is the most dangerous enemy of our social order. Metternich described Mazzini, the Austrian minister. Metternich described Mazzini, the Italian revolutionary, as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now I am getting an idea. Let us go for the 8th question. Yeah, in order to write the 8th question, I am going to rub this particular part of, just this particular part of. What is the 8th question? Match the following items given in column A with column B and then choose the correct answer. Okay, let us go for the, let us check the entire thing. 8th one. Napoleon Bonaparte, obviously. Civil code. We just saw about Napoleon Bonaparte and civil code. For option 1, it is B. What about option 2, sir? Duke Metternich, Congress of Vienna. Yes, Duke Metternich, that Austrian politician. Second one is Duke Metternich. C. Option is C. Congress of Vienna. What about the third one, sir? Third one is Louis XVI. Obviously, he was he was in power when French Revolution was happening. So Louis XVI, French Revolution, option D. What about the fourth one, sir? Fourth one is Karl Welcker, a German politician, journalist who participated with a great gusto in the revolution of the liberals, Frankfurt Parliament at St. Paul's Church. Option A. Option A. Okay, sir. So what is the actual answer for the eighth question? Check it out. I think it is A. It is A. For eighth question, option is A. Let us go for ninth, sir. Before going for ninth is a passage question. Kindly read the passage. Absolutely, Tangam. In the German regions, a large number of political associations whose members were middle class professionals, businessmen and prosperous artisans came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for an all-German assembly, all-German national assembly. On 18th May 1848, 831 elected representatives are marching in a festive procession to take their places in the Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul's. So, what next, sir? They are crafting a constitution for the German nation to be headed by the monarchy, which is subjected to the parliament. When the deputies offered these terms to the crown king, Friedrich Wilhelm IV. Sir, how am I supposed to remember this? Friedrich Wilhelm IV, fried. His head is fried. He's a rich fellow because he's a king. Friedrich Wilhelm. Friedrich Wilhelm 4. You are frying him 4 times. How are you going to remember 4? You are going to fry him 4 times. Friedrich Wilhelm 4. So, King of Prussia rejected it and joined with the other monarchs and obviously Junkers, the large landowners of Prussia, in order to oppose this particular proposal. When the opposition of the aristocracy and the military became stronger, the social basis of the parliament eroded. The parliament was dominated by the middle class, who resisted the demands of the workers and artisans and consequently lost their support. In the end, troops were called in and the entire parliament was disbanded. The people were forced to go outside. The issue of extending political rights to women was a controversial one within the liberal movement, in which large number of women have participated actively over the years. Women had formed their own political associations, founded newspapers and taken part in different political meetings. Despite this, they were denied suffrage rights. So, even when the Frankfurt Parliament was convening in the Church of St. Paul's, women were only admitted as onlookers. Women were not allowed to participate. They were only admitted as onlookers in the visitors gallery. In the visitors gallery. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now let us go for the questions. Let us look at the 9th question. People from which class mainly constituted the members of the many different political associations in German nation, German region. Okay, so were there middle class professionals? Yes, sir. There were middle class professionals. Were there businessmen? Yes, sir. There were businessmen. Were there prosperous artisans? Yes, sir. There were prosperous artisans. So, all of the above, option D. What about the 10th question? On 18th May 1848, where was Frankfurt Parliament convened? Just now we read about it in St. Paul's Church. So the option is option B. Okay, what about the 11th question, sir? Let us go for the 11th question that is based on this particular idea. Otto von Bismarck's contribution in building a nation of Germany is remarkable. So who was he? He was the chief minister of Prussia. He was also called as Iron Chancellor, but he was the chief minister of Prussia. 11th question, D. Option D. What about the 12th question? What was the role of women in the revolution of the Church of St. Paul's? What was the role of women in the revolution of the liberals? The women were not allowed to participate. They were simply present in the St. Paul's Church as onlookers in the visitors gallery. Option D. Option D. Yeah? Are you comfortable with all these 12 questions? I took these questions in such a way that they touched upon very important topics in this particular chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed this lecture. Yeah, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon. For why? What is the reason, sir? You are going to get so much content. You are going to learn so much subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, political science, history, economics. In each and every subject to beautiful depth, along with a lot of multiple choice questions. With us, this academic year, do not miss out on this fun idea of learning with me. Cheers and thank you. Yeah, see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you, Kana.